Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and this is the first flight that I have made with my Mini 2 since getting the Tripltek tablet. So I'm using the Tripltek tablet and flying the Mini 2. I had to rebind it because I'd been using it with the smart controller. And so I just thought I'd take it up and try it and make sure everything works. I had to rebind it and everything. So anyway, the smart controller I gave to a friend, and so now I'm using the controller that came with the Mini and the Tripltek monitor or tablet. All right, so now I got my brain in gear, I think. First of all, I want to thank you for watching my videos, because I envy you guys out there who live in areas that are full of color. You know, nice green and hills and rivers and all that stuff. Because here in Arizona, we have sagebrush, and we have construction, and we have farm fields, and we have sagebrush and construction and farm fields. And I get awful bored of trying to make an interesting video looking at sagebrush, construction, and farm fields, but that's all we've got. So, and by the way, there's mountains in the distance there, and I've had people say, "Why don't you go to the mountains and fly over there?" Well, that's wilderness area, and you can't fly your drone in wilderness areas. So, because we went there once, my son took us over there, and couldn't take off. So he wanted me to make some videos of him doing his four-wheeling. So anyway, here I am with sagebrush, construction, and farm fields, and I thank you for your patience with that. Not only that, but I don't drive anymore. I had a stroke a couple of years ago, and I can drive. I still have my license and renew it and stuff just in case I have to, but everybody tells me not to, everybody that loves me. So I just ride my e-bike. And recently, it's been too muddy to ride my e-bike, so I've been taken off from the backyard. So that's my excuse for not having rivers and mountains and trees and all that kind of stuff. Although sometimes flying over a neighborhood can be a little more colorful than construction and farm fields. So anyway, here we go. And I'm just going to fly around, and I've got a story to tell you. It's kind of interesting how it came about. In church the other day, we sang a song. It was like a new song. I'd never heard it before, talking about Jesus being our anchor in a storm. And that reminded me of a story. And so shame on me for being in church and thinking about drones. But anyway, back in, it was in, many years ago, I'll just put it that way. I had a 23-foot Aquarius sailboat, which was a nice sailboat, 23 feet long, but it had a head and a galley, and I'll put up some pictures showing some of that stuff. And I loved sailing. I grew up in Seattle area, and it was all boats, and so I've had several boats in my life, but that was a really nice one. And so my wife and I, we decided, now we lived in Pasco, Washington, which is where the Snake River meets the Columbia River. But if you go up the Snake River above some of the dams, there's a park up there along the Snake River called Lyons Ferry State Park. And we made several trips up there and with the sailboat. And we'd camp out, we'd anchor out in the little lagoon that's there. And I'll get a Google Earth picture up there for you. Anyway, this one time we went up, and it wasn't the best weather, and so it got windy and stormy, and so we anchored out in that lagoon to stay all night, and so we threw in the anchor, and the kind of anchor I had was one that would grab the hold of the bottom and dig in, and so the stronger the wind blew and the harder the storm, the better the anchor would hold. And so that's what it was that particular night. I mean, it started getting real windy, and that's when you wonder if you've got a good rope and the cleats are fastened down good on the decks, because there was waves, and all night long there was the boat would swing back and forth on the anchor, and now I'm going to be following this guy. He's going to go to the mailbox, so we'll see if he gets any mail. Anyway, so all night long it was like that, and then we woke up, early in the morning, and boat was the storm was still going, and but my wife had to go to work that afternoon, so we needed to get out of there. And so I got up on the front deck and I started to pull in the anchor, and I couldn't get the anchor to come up. And I pulled and I pulled and I pulled. It had dug in so deep. Now, that park is at the mouth of the Palouse River where it comes into the Snake, and so there was a lot of sediment, and it had dug itself in deeper and deeper and deeper with that storm. And so, I don't know. It seems like when I got through, I thought it was like a half an hour that it took me to get that, to pull the rope up. And of course, as the rope came up, it was covered with mud because it was under the dirt, or under the silt. So anyway, I pulled and I pulled and I finally got it up. And when it finally came up, then I decided I would try to sail out of that little narrow spot there, because it's wide enough I could tack back and forth. And so we tried to do that and just almost wrecked the boat. It was over on its side, tipped over our picnic box that had ice in it, and it dumped it all over the inside of the boat. I mean, we got really in a mess. So then we fell back into the lagoon and pulled down the sails and started the the outboard motor and got it going. And then we could just steer it straight out of the lagoon. And I had gotten this motor at, if you remember the Woolworth stores. No, it wasn't Woolworth. It was Montgomery Ward. They're no longer, I don't think they're no longer around. But I had bought a Sea King motor because it was the cheapest, and that's never a wise choice. Anyway, so it died while we were headed back, and we finally decided that it wasn't worth trying to fight the storm, so we pulled into another. It was just a little opening along the river there, and we anchored, and we were so tired we just fell asleep, and then finally the storm quit. Well, anyway, so it was it was a harrowing thing, and of course when the motor quits when you're in a storm, that's not good. So eventually, after that, I got myself a Mercury. I think it was a 7.5 horse or 9 horse or something like that, and that lasted until I got rid of the boat. So it was a fun experience. I made good memories. But the song was talking about how the anchor holds, and the harder the storm. And of course, I can testify to that because when I was 9 years old, I committed my life to Jesus, and he's been my anchor. I've been in all kinds of troubles. I'll be 80 this year, and I can't even remember them all. But I know one thing he's always done. When I'm looking for something in the shop or something, and I can't find it, and then finally I remember, I'll pray about it. I'm not kidding you how many times this has happened. I pray about it, and then the next place I look, I find it. And I've already looked there once, but I didn't notice it was under something or something like that. So anyway, he's been an anchor for me, and he can be an anchor for anybody who wants to commit their life to him. And by the way, I'll put a little reference to it. It's Romans 10:9 and 10 tells you how all you have to do. Of course, you have to believe in your heart. But anyway, enough preaching. I'm not the world's greatest preacher, and I don't know if I'm even a good storyteller, but I remembered that one while I was in church. Can you imagine? What a sinner. All right. Well, I want to thank you for watching my videos, as always, and God bless.